this moment, give up yourself until the morning. This moment.
Well, Pascal Chimbonda still wearing his gloves, even though it's rather mild in London tonight. When you've spent a year up north, you keep them on, whatever. He was named in the PFA Team of the Season last night, and it was his injury time goal that beat Fulham at the JJB earlier in the season. There's Boa Morte, the Fulham captain, is the subject of the player cam. Press the red button, Sky Digital viewers. Well, around a decade ago, these two clubs were fighting for survival in the Football League. They really haven't done too badly for themselves since. And Wigan now stand close to Europe. Incredible as that seems, it really would be remarkable if they made it. Jimmy Bullard. Here is Chimbonda. Gary Teal. Chimbonda again has Graham Kavanagh nearby. Alderson looking for his strike partner McBride, but he won't find him like that. And Kavanagh has to send it back to Mike Pollitt back in Wigan's goal today because John Filan needs a groin operation.
The lovely thing about these two sides is that they can both play with a great deal of freedom. Yeah, Wigan could possibly get into Europe, but it wouldn't be a disaster if they didn't. And Fulham, well, they're not in danger of relegation, so they can express themselves. Let's just hope that it all transmits onto the pitch. I'm expecting a good open game tonight.
Well, even Paul Jewell admitted that Fulham were unlucky to lose to Chimbonda's injury time goal at the JJB in October. They have a score to settle tonight. Chimbonda recognised by his fellow pros in the PFA Awards. Well, he and Wigan can certainly feel proud about that. McCulloch in a hurry, but it's going to go away from Henri Camara.
They do like to get the ball down. Actually, Leighton Baines a little bit too quick for Henri Camara, but I was talking about Wigan. You can normally tell if they're up for it. They like to zip the ball across the surface, get those full-backs up in support of Gary Teal and Liam McCulloch on the flanks.
Well, Paul Jewell has ruled so far in his duels with Chris Coleman. 2 wins out of 2 for Wigan in the Premiership this season and in the League Cup a while back. Fulham need a point to guarantee safety, but they're pretty much there anyway. It would take a mathematical nightmare to see them in any danger. Jason Roberts, who's had some season. Pride, Jackson breathing down the back of his shirt. Very kept for Fulham. Zach Knight. Wainbridge. Onshow coming across. No Gazeu and no Shana in the heart of Wigan's defence. Both injured.
It does rob them of that little bit of pace that Shana provides. Luckily tonight, they may think that Helgeson and McBride aren't the type that are going to run away from you.
Malbronk! Oh, it fizzed through and Pollitt able to clutch it.
They caught it well, Steve Malbronk, and I don't think Mike Pollitt would have seen this until it's zipped through a few players. You can see a Wigan player very nearly got his head on it. It might have taken just the slightest little nick off the top. I think it did, off Matt Jackson, you know, but it did help Mike Pollitt in towards him.
2 players down, right in front of Rob Stiles. It's a lot to keep him down. Well, on Saturday, Rob Stiles was a bit busy standing between Martin Jol and Arsene Wenger. Kevin Bond alongside him there, of course, is with Harry Redknapp at Portsmouth, who go to Wigan for a crunch game on Saturday. Wigan were second favourites for relegation at the start of the season. West Ham were favourites. Bookies don't always get it right. Bullard, Chimbonda, Roberts on the chase, as that might wary of his presence. Oh, that's a little loose. And Bullard has latched onto it. It's disappeared away from Cameron McCulloch, but rescued by Baines. And McCulloch earns a corner.
That's typical Wigan work rate, really, to keep the ball in that final third. That night didn't deal with it particularly well. One-on-one with Jason Roberts and didn't clear his lines.
Kavanagh receives, giving Bullard a better angle. He eluded everyone. Henry Camara, who scored twice in an entertaining encounter against Aston Villa last week.
I think he's been so important to them, really. Paul Jewell earmarked the necessity to have some pace in his attack when he got promoted into the Premiership, and he went out and got Camara alongside Jason Roberts. They've been a real handful when they've been on song. Good partnership.
Elliott, cushioned by Jackson for Chimbonda. Papa Diop. Malbronk. Bounced off Bullard, who got a whack on his leg. Jackson. Ferguson cut across him. Wigan's throw.
We just felt the full force of Papa Diop, Jimmy Bullard. And you are going to feel that.
McCulloch's flick comes off Rossinia. Fulham looking for their 12th home win of the season, but Wigan looking for their 9th away win.
Incredible record, really, on the travels. It just shows they've gone out and they've had no fear in the play. An incredible record of going ahead, is it, in the last 9 games, something like that? Incredible, really, but it just shows their approach this season.
Morte, McBride chasing, but it'll be lashed out by Leighton Baines. Rossinia will take this throw. Henry Camara there with him, but Rossinia still managed to deliver. McBride challenged Jackson. Elliott. Helgeson. Chimbonda has sorted him out. Sent back by Bridge. And Helgeson running out of room.
I want to do a bit more of that, get down the flanks as Liam Rossinia did there. He got a good cross into Helgeson's strike partner, Brian McBride. Very strong in the air. Chris Coleman's front duo will cause problems if they're given the right service.
Ian Pearce keeping his eye on that. Headed on by Papa Bouba Diop. Mark Bronk. Fulham with 39 points this season, and 35 of them have been won here at Craven Cottage. They are the only team in English football yet to win away. They've only got 2 more chances. Messina. Malbronk. Wayne Bridge running onto that. But here's Gary Teal skipping away. Camera trying to stay onside. Shimonda. Teal. Always going to get another chance. Teal! And that's a very decent stop from Niemi.
Oh, what a chance it was as well. He gets the little bit of luck with a ricochet off the defender, pierces it as he goes to thread the ball through, and it's set up for him perfectly. It's a tightish angle, hits it well enough. Whether that's going to find the far corner, I don't know, but Anthony Niemi, great reaction save, down low to his right.
The ball not quite in the right place. Bullard then whipping it in. Still some work for Fulham to do. Concho and Helgeson were entangled. Malbronk not quite going to get to it. Leighton Baines, who has finally achieved England under-21 recognition. Quite a while after his manager thought he should, though. This came to prominence in the Championship. Another throw for Baines, but much further advanced this time. Shimbonda, who has proved to be a bit of a steal at $500,000 from Bastia. Roberts for Camera. The front two combining, but stopped in their tracks by Pearce.
It's a shame. He had Gary Teal out to his right. Good link up though between the two strikers. Gary Teal just telling him now he was there, totally unmarked. Roberts didn't see him. Loves to hold his width. Teal, both sides playing with plenty of width, using the full width of the pitch.
Simon Elliott will take this free kick, the latest to join Fulham from stateside. There's been a few. Shimbonda, rather composed, to say the least. Bullard now taking it up on Wigan's behalf. Leighton Baines is making quite a run. Here he is. Steve Malbronk made the most of Knight's clearance.
That's where they struggle at times. Fulham, they can't get much joy from that ball in the channel. When they're aiming for Helgeson or McBride, they haven't got the pace really to trouble the centre halves, and Steve Malbronk left with only one option, just to try and work something, get some reward in the shape of a throw-in, which they've got.
This is Mike Pollitt's first game since he hobbled off injured in the Carling Cup final. Chimbonda. Teal ahead of him, Bullard behind him. Kavanagh for Lee McCulloch. Bit of room to have a crack. Had the sting taken out of it though.
Just drifted inside Lee McCulloch from that position he holds on the left, and as a result he found himself unmarked in a bit of space.
And Helgeson both going for it. Elliott challenging Bullard. Here's Chimbonda. Bo Morte's going to take that away from Teal. Fulham threatening. McBride. Here's Bridge. And Helgeson. Collected by Pollitt.
It's good ball in. Perfect ball for Helgeson to attack. Wayne Bridge delivers it and he just zips. Makes that little step in front of Jackson to get the header. Can't quite get the purchase on it. Trouble Pollitt.
Rather aimless from Rossignol. Jeers from the home fans. They haven't had too much to complain about here at Craven Cottage this season, whereas the away support have had a fair bit to complain about.
It's a mystery really, isn't it, when you look at the players that they've got available. Some quality out there. I think they haven't won 2 games on the trot in all competitions. That shows really in a nutshell where they've struggled. Haven't been able to get up ahead of steam at all.
On the player cam now, it's the Senegalese international, Henri Camara. Sky Digital viewers, press your red button to check that out. Camara facing his former Southampton teammate Niemi. Chimbonda. Camera is offside.
The linesman had a long, hard look at that before putting his flag up. They tried to hold the runs, the 2 strikers up front. And did Camera do it? It's a very close one. It looks level to me.
Well, we almost had a little think about it. Andy Williams on that side. McBride challenging Chimbonda. Wayne Bridge. Morte didn't connect properly. Had to hit the turf more than the ball.
Well, gets a little bit of luck because his control let him down actually, but he's able to turn and swing the leg, but nowhere near for Luis Morte. Both sides at the moment can't quite get the passing together.
McBride. Helgeson. Seeking out Morte and finding him perfectly. Papa Bouba Diop. Never afraid to have a go from range, and we've seen him score some spectacular goals.
Yeah, I remember a while back here against Manchester United, and I think the crowd were thinking along the same lines when he rifled one in from about 30 yards. He's got it in his locker. Not that time.
Not much to Fulham's relief. He recently extended his contract here until 2009. Roberts loses out to Elliott. Rossinia hooked on by Helgeson. Just carries to Pollitt, who had Pride rushing in.
There's good communication actually between Pollitt and Oncho. Often in those circumstances you get a bit of a mix-up.
Roberts' arm flailing then over that night. Here's Jimmy Bullard. Pascal Chimbonda. Bullard. Gary Teal got himself into space. And it's come off Zach Knight, and Rossinia not quite sure what to do with it. Corner.
No, he's just saying to his keeper, "You didn't talk to me, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know if I was under pressure." Gary Teal's maintained his width, he hadn't got much joy, so he ducks inside and he does receive the ball, but he made up his mind quite late on, Rossinia, that he wanted to chest the ball back to his keeper.
It's Jimmy Bullard's corner. Good one too, and Heider Helgeson dealt with it. Covered up. Bullard. Chimbonda. Chimbonda over egging the fancy flick.
Hey, Bridgie.
Rossinia. Steve Malbronk is going to get to this. Can he make it happen for Fulham? Helgeson sweeping it towards goal.
And that's one of those difficult ones to handle and to keep down, and he was always leaning back. It's when the ball just skips up in front of you. Just got to try and get that knee over it. You can see from his body shape that was never going to happen.
On by McCulloch. Morte swaps sides with Malbronk. It's going to speed away from Helgeson. Midway point of the first half. Wigan hoping to stay amongst the clutch of clubs, chasing UEFA Cup place. And having another go now with Gary Teal. And Jason Roberts! Well, it was a very good chance.
Well, it was as well, because he'd got up high and early above Liam Rossinia. Had a great chance to get some power and head it down. He's just trying to find that near post. I don't think he feels from that position he's going to get it across goal. And he just gets his angles a little bit wrong. Decent cross from Gary Teal on a plate. Jason Roberts, how'd you like him? But I think, yeah, halfway stage in this first half, and Wigan will be. I'm more pleased with how it's gone. They've had the better quality possession. More dangerous situations for them.
Fulham trying to change that. Rossinia. Morte, there's a man on in Bullard, and he's now on Rossinia. And what a throw. Elliott. Pride won it. And it opens up here for Heide Helgesen. Bit of work to do yet. Bronk's in a bit of space on the other side of the box, but Helgesen was preoccupied. And that's a foul by McCulloch on Rossignol. Well, he did try to play the advantage, Rob Stiles, but he has pulled it back now.
Another example of the lack of pace. Helgesen knew he couldn't run away from the Wigan defence when the ball was flicked through from McBride. Had to check back. Landed at the feet of Henri Camara. It might have been a different story at the other end.
Some big boys to aim for Boumorte. Boumorte though, sending it a little too long now. Did Mike Pollock carry that over? He did. Corner.
His momentum just took him back, and you're right. I'm thinking Bouba Diop and Zap Knight have probably got two of the biggest players in the Premiership competing for the ball. Nothing much he could have done about that, Pollock. Just fell over the line.
Shimbonda keeping track of Zap Knight. Elliott pings it in. It was Shimbonda who cleared it. Henri Camara. Jimmy Bullard now as Wigan burst out. Gary Teal's got himself into a central position. And Teal tripped by Steve Malbron. Bullard. Oh, Lee McCulloch. Well, he normally heads it so well.
The senior went to sleep there and he got away with it. He just lets his man duck in front of him. You can see he gets caught on his heels, ball watching. Great chance for us for McCulloch, who is normally so reliable in the air.
Paul Jewell in charge of Wigan for 5 years now. 2 promotions and a cup final.
Well, with the chances they've carved out, you can see him. He's a little bit anxious with the fact that they haven't taken one of them. 5 all-in attempts, but in terms of quality, I'll just give the edge to Wigan. A couple of very dangerous crosses, that last one to McCulloch in particular. Wonderful opportunity just to get the header on target.
McCulloch and Roberts not really able to use their heads as they would have wished. And Elliott not able to set up Malbron. Mike Pollock, who languished in the lower league for a long time in his career. I remember Ronnie Moore at Rotherham always felt he should be playing in the Premiership. He finally made it. One by Lee McCulloch, who has another stab at it. Was falling over at the time though.
It's quite a big weapon actually for Wigan. McCulloch again up against Rossignol. He's got the height advantage. McCulloch, and he's using it at the moment.
Baines. Upper with the Diop quickly upon him. Baines looking for an option. McCulloch desperately trying to make himself available, so too Roberts. Malbron steps in. That's one way to clear it. Typical of Malbron, but Bullard found Elliott in his way. Ian Pearce playing it safe. Bonder's throw for Teal. Camera over there as well. Bullard. Well, they kept the ball for a while. Can they hurt Fulham now? Bullard's cross. Lee McCulloch rising again.
Needs a bit of help, actually. We've seen you on the far stick when they get the ball into those wide areas that night. Could just shift across and help out his fullback, because McCulloch is winning them. Asking a lot to find the back of the net from there, but even so, another dangerous moment for Fulham. And Wigan really showing that they have had the better season. They're showing that little bit more confidence in the passing and the movement.
Well, Morte is going to latch onto that, and Onjo on hand.
Yeah, it's just a careless throw-in. A throw out for Mike Pollitt, and you can see, whether he sees Boa Morte or not, I don't know, but puts his team into all sorts of trouble. Onjo comes to the rescue.
Half an hour played. Simon Elliott with Fulham's corner. Kavanagh clears it. Bullard always has a smile on his face.
He did well there, actually. He just kidded on his man behind just to make out he was going to get it, and he let it go at the last minute.
Well, the player cam now switches to Steve Malbronk, who's done so much for Fulham in his time in London. Sky Digital viewers press your red button to see him in close up.
Switch back over onto the right-hand side. They need to get him involved, I think, Fulham. When he's playing well, he gets them ticking over.
Seemed to bounce off Teal's hand, but Camera still chasing. One bridge away, but only to Bullard. Chimbonda. He's got a free kick off Boa Morte. Boa Morte with a fair bit to say, maybe about the handball shout against Teal. Rob Stiles told him to button it. It's whipped in by Bullard and dispatched by Pearce. Kavanagh. Camera was about to have a spectacular effort then, but it was McCulloch who took it away from him. His own man. Camera. Teal. Bullard. Camera. Saw McCulloch in space, but Rossini cut it out, although Camera moving in again on Diop.
Chris Coleman will be pleased that Camera was just allowed to come off and get the ball and turn under no pressure. Try and pick out a pass.
Here's Gary Teal. Wigan probing again. And Teal unable to get any real power on that, rather tame from a man who's yet to score a Premiership goal.
No, you wouldn't think so. The way he bombs up and down that right-hand flank and likes to duck inside onto his weaker side. You can see it, the way he swung that left peg.
Coming on Wednesday night, Champions League semi-final second leg. Have a bit of that. Barcelona, AC Milan, Sky Sports 1, 7 o'clock in the Nou Camp. McCulloch. Roberts loitering, usually with plenty of intent. Wearing the captain's armband in the absence of the injured Hayan Dezeo. Bullard, Roberts. Rossini with him. Stuck to his task, but here's Bullard. Offside that'll be against Roberts.
Well, they are able to really get some joy. They've played a ball up into the channel that Fulham couldn't deal with, and they're able to keep the ball in the final third, asking a lot of questions of this Fulham defence at the moment. Wigan, by far the more accomplished side up until now.
Bridge. McBride certainly felt that contact from Jackson.
A few of these tonight, aerial challenges, and up until now, Oncho and Jackson have dealt well with them against the aerial threat. McBride and Algerson.
Gains for McCulloch, and that's going to end up as a goal kick. Each place in the Premiership table is worth around £500,000. So both these teams eager to finish as high as they can. And of course Wigan still have that incentive of possible European football.
Yeah, I mean, I think that money thing is something that obviously the chairman and the board and the manager too will be very aware of, because it might just swell his transfer kitty in the summer, but it's getting across to the players sometimes is a bit more difficult.
I bet. Here's Henri Camara. It's going to have to be good from there.
Well, I think with all the play that they've had, they will feel a little bit miffed that they haven't got a goal yet. Paul Jewell might just be a little bit worried, because he would expect Fulham to come back in the second half, be more of an attacking threat than they have been.
Wigan are the only Premiership team yet to be involved in a goalless draw this season.
Don't speak too soon.
Bullard. Rather awkward for him, trying to juggle that. Here's Elliott. Offside, Algerson. Only the top three teams in the Premiership have a better away record than Wigan, but Fulham, of course, have the kind of home record which sits nicely amongst the leading clubs as well.
The fans haven't had much to shout about tonight, I have to say. They've had to be patient, hoping that their team will come good.
Pride and Jackson jostling. Came to Bullard off Papa Bouba Diop of all people. Baines. Arbron. Wigan's throw. Jason Roberts. Baines still nearby if he needs him. Lee McCulloch darting across. Baines again. Roberts. Oh, and Rossini's got a goal kick off him.
He's had to do a fair bit of defending in this half. Young Liam Rossini up against McCulloch or Roberts, whoever. He's found himself having to concentrate, keep his eye on the ball.
McCulloch with a free header. And Pearce giving away a needless corner.
It's just a reflection of how they have defended. They haven't looked confident with simple bouncing balls. Haven't dealt with him as nearly as well as you'd expect.
Teal delivers. Roberts at the near post. Henri Camara on the volley.
Yeah, that would have been a spectacular one. Would have found the back of the net. These frustrating times for Fulham. Can't clear the lines. The challenge was just enough.
Henri Camara relegated from the Premiership in each of the last 2 seasons with Wolves and Southampton. I'm sure he was starting to get a complex about it. But it won't be happening this season. Senior. Helgeson got to it first, but then wasted it by presenting it to Gary Teal. Camara. Teal. Chimbonda. Camara trying to return it to Chimbonda, but Wayne Bridge has the situation under control.
And they are working harder at the moment, Wigan and Fulham, especially in that middle ground where competing well. McCulloch's tucking in and sometimes giving them an extra man, and Fulham can't deal with it at the moment. Too many times for their liking that this has happened. The ball's broke to a Wigan player.
Camara neatly finding Teal, who doesn't hang around, but Ian Pearce stops it from reaching Roberts. Half-time fast approaching, down by the River Thames. Matt Jackson. Kavanagh. Jimmy Bullard making the run. Sam Knight's gone with him. And got his long legs in there.
That's what they've done well, though. If they haven't been able to keep the ball, they've got a throw-in out of it and been able to shift the unit up another 10-20 yards.
Chimbonda. Bullard lets it go for Teal. Kavanagh. Chimbonda. Gary Teal wants it. Gary Teal gets it. He had Marbronk to contend with, and it's another Wigan corner. And again they ask questions of Fulham.
Where they would ideally like Wigan. Ayem Desir, he's a master at attacking the ball from corners. Probably they've got a disadvantage in terms of height, Wigan. Some big lads. And a Fulham lineup.
Teal accepts the short corner and sends it in for Lee McCulloch. And Jackson there. Fulham living dangerously, but they dig it out. Here's Papa Bouba Diop up against his fellow countryman, Henri Camara, who's tripped it.
Well, they might have a height disadvantage, but they're getting to the ball first, time and time again. Another advantage. McCulloch at the near post and just doesn't get enough on it. Too much of a glance. Another good chance for Lee McCulloch, this time on the right-hand side.
A point would guarantee Fulham's Premiership survival, although it's fairly secure anyway. Birmingham would need a couple of miracles to catch up with them. As for Wigan, the stakes are still high for them. A victory here would put them on the same number of points as Blackburn and Newcastle, and move them above Bolton, who are also in the hunt for UEFA Cup spot. That's a bit casual. Teal for Bullard. Last minute of the first half. Jason Roberts swivelling, and no foul, says Rob Stars.
Well, I think maybe Baramorti was as surprised as anybody else. She was expecting to hear the referee's whistle there.
Bullard. Here's Roberts. He's having a run at Ian Pearce. Roberts for camera. Oh, screws it miserably wide.
Well, you just cannot allow somebody like Jason Roberts to get into that channel, but once he's there, you've got to get tighter than that. You can't let him turn and make inroads into the penalty area. Just pick out a pass under no pressure whatsoever. They're riding the luck, Fulham, and they're getting away with it up until now. Half-time can't come quickly enough.
We are in the 1 minute of stoppage time in this first half. Rossinia on by Helgeson, now Elliott. Wigan have wasted a few chances. Fulham looking to take one themselves. Beaumorte, Malbrook! He has taken that chance. A carefully crafted goal, a clinical finish. And even though they've been second best in this first half, they're ahead in stoppage time.
Well, who said half-time can't come quickly enough? This is just football for you. There's no explaining it, and there's nothing complicated or intricate about it until the final ball, which comes from Luis Beaumorte. He picks out his man beautifully, and that man has the composure and the skill to make full use of it. Steve Malbronk hasn't been able to get on the ball too much out on the right, but he gets it in that area and he finishes it as well as you could possibly hope. And after really being on the back foot for large portions of this half, suddenly they go into the half-time break. You would imagine a goal up.
Well, right on the stroke of half-time, that it really is a funny old game. Wigan had the clearer, better chances, but Steed Malbronk scored his 5th of the season in stoppage time, and Paul Dewar, well, he and his team must be kicking themselves that they didn't take any of what came their way. Half-time, bizarrely at Craven Cottage, it's Fulham 1, Wigan 0.
Almost a sense of inevitability about it, wasn't there, that Wigan had dominated so much without managing to get a breakthrough, and then Fulham go and nick a goal right at the end of the views of the Portsmouth manager Harry Redknapp in just a moment or two. But at half-time at the Cottage, Fulham lead thanks to a strike in the last minute of the first half from their trusty Steed. Football coming up for you on Sky Sports this weekend. It's win or bust for Manchester United, isn't it? As they go to Stamford Bridge to take on the champions Chelsea. High noon, Sky Sports 1 for the big showdown. Charlton against Blackburn Rovers is live on Prem Plus at 5 o'clock on Saturday, channel 480. For information, 08705 160 160 is the number to ring. And Spurs in pole position for 4th place after their draw at Highbury. They take on Bolton at White Hart Lane. You can see it at 3:30, Sky Sports 1. Here at Craven Cottage, half-time Fulham lead by a 1-0 against a Wigan side who've had 60% possession but not been able to turn it into goals. Harry Redknapp, the Portsmouth manager, has been watching Harry's Portsmouth play Wigan, of course, at the weekend. Who's impressed you on the Wigan side, Harry?
I think they've all looked impressive tonight. You know, the two wide men, say the lad Teal on the right-hand side gets good crosses in, he gets loads of balls into the box. Roberts and Kamara can always be a threat with their pace and strength. And I mean, Bullard, you know, in the middle of the park, they've looked a very good side. You can see tonight why they're up in the position that they are in the league. And I still think they'll get back into this game second half.
Yes, certainly no fluke, is it, that they're up there. It's the first time, you know, in 10 games that Paul Dewar has seen his side concede the first goal. The other 9 they've scored first on each occasion. So a bit of test of character for Paul Dewar's Wigan side this evening. They trail them by a 0-0 and their hopes of a UEFA Cup spot, and as they say, hanging by a thread. Steed Malbronk, the man who got the goal to put Fulham in front in the very last minute, the dying seconds of the first half. Ready for second half action then? Let's rejoin our commentators, Alan Smith and Ian Crocker.
Well, Fulham's home record is superb this season, but even they must admit they're a little fortunate to be a goal to the good here against a Wigan side who were the dominant force in that first half, Alan.
Well, yeah, you can say that again. I'm just wondering, seeing Paul Jewell walking over into the dugout, what he actually said to his players at half-time. He must have had to rip up his team talk and start again. But having said that, he just, well, play the way you have been, lads, and you would hope that at some stage they will get some reward for their play. But I'll give such a G up to Fulham now, going into this second half. That late goal.
Jimmy Bullard's on the player cam for Sky Digital viewers on your red button. Fulham will start the second half. Here's Wayne Bridge. Helgeson. Oh, he managed to sneak his shot in and it nearly crept in. Pollitt had to smuggle it away.
Well, very nearly didn't as well. Very nearly sneaked under the keeper's body. Does well to back in and get the nice chest control. He hasn't got much to aim at there, Helgeson, excuse me, but he gets it on target and very nearly squeezes in at that near post.
It's Elliott's corner. Helgeson unable to reach it. It was he who forced that corner in the opening minute of this second half, though. Probably hoping that he'll be up against his former club Watford in the Premiership next season, although that remains to be seen. Leeds and Crystal Palace and Preston might have something to say about that. Bouba Diop. Pollitt in the Wigan goal tonight because John Filan, who has been playing recently, will have a groin operation this week. No sub-keeper either. I'm told that if something happens to Pollitt, Jimmy Bullard will fancy going in goal, but I'm also told that they might not let him.
He fancies doing everything, doesn't he, Jimmy Bullard?
Well, Bronk. Rancho playing it safe. He's quite a character, Jimmy Bullard. Jackson underneath that. And by Roberts. Turned away by Bridge. Well, that's an error from Jackson.
Although they got now a goal ahead, Fulham, I'm sure Chris Coleman would have had a few stiff, stern words to say to his players, and you can see a bit of a reaction in these opening minutes. They've been a different side, Fulham, a lot livelier in possession.
Rob Stiles just sorting out his buzzer. Wayne Bridge. Chimbonda. Teal. Kavanagh. Camera. Morte capitalising on Kavanagh's error. Bronk again, and it came off Jackson. And Helgeson didn't make the most of it.
Well, just got caught overplaying there. Wigan had a chance to clear the lines, but the little 10-yard pass wasn't the right choice. And they get caught short on numbers. You can see the Fulham shirts begging for it on the right-hand side. Difficult one in the end for Helgeson, but he will not be happy with the start that his side have made. Fulham have certainly come out the traps a lot livelier.
Wigan home to Harry Redknapp's Portsmouth this weekend, and then they end the season by bringing the curtain down on Highbury, the trip to Arsenal. They have been a breath of fresh air in the Premiership along with West Ham and Paul Jewell. And Alan Pardew must be the prime contenders for Manager of the Year.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue with that. Coming up, favourites to go down, and not only have they survived, they've done more than that. They've added to the Premiership with some of the football that they've played. With a lot of freedom, importantly, no fear in the ranks.
Malbronk, offside. Brian McBride had a fair crack, but the flag was up.
Just getting to those 50-50 balls a lot quicker now. Fulham winning some of the challenges. The middle ground makes all the difference. They got overrun at times in the midfield area in that first half. Couldn't really get a foothold in the game.
Hoover Diop, McBride, Paul Malbronk. Stopped by Jackson. Bullard. It's popped out of Camara's boot. Too fierce for Chimbonda.
It's just shaken them, knocked them off the stride, that goal, even though they've had half time to think about it.
Malbronk and offside. Flag is up again.
Got to be off, hasn't it? Good 3 or 4 yards, it looked to me. Flag went straight up this time. There you go, no doubt about it.
McCulloch won it well. Jason Roberts. Fulham shaky at the back again. Gary Teal's cross is a good one. Lee McCulloch charging in on it. Corner.
Another great cross from Gary Teal. Right on the money from McCulloch to attack at that far stick. You have to think if they keep creating these kind of chances, putting the ball in the area, sooner or later they will get their reward.
Well, after a pretty shocking opening 5 minutes of the second half, Wigan have got themselves going again. Bullard for Camara. Bullard for Teal. Not quite so good that time on his left foot. Baines did well to find Bullard. Right at Helgeson. Back helping out his defence and getting a free kick. Niemi trying to find Helgeson. McBride gambled. Not sure they will marshal in behind. Bullard. Chimbonda. Teal now for Camara.
Just stopped there for a split second. Gary Teal.
Nancy Niemi being watched by the Finland coach. Familiar face, Roy Hodgson. Don't think Niemi's played for his country for a while, but he is an outstanding goalkeeper. Teal. Camara. Well, Bronk has a problem for Fulham at the moment, but Wigan have their sights set on goal. Baines. And it's bounced over bridge for Teal. He's actually got a free kick anyway, Gary Teal, for being held back, but it was a neat touch.
Oh, it was a lovely bit of skill from Gary Teal. Little flick through the legs, there you go. Nutmeg on Wayne Bridge, who was struggling from there on. Don't look comfortable, Fulham, whenever Wigan can deliver the ball in the box. Good quality crosses.
Jimmy Bullard, it's another decent delivery. Zach Knight had a swing at it, back by McCulloch and scooped out by Rossignol, but again nervy for Fulham.
Needed a bit of help there actually, Lee McCulloch. I think everybody stopped. They didn't think he was going to keep it in. Nobody just getting to that near post to support.
Nathan Baines with his throw. McCulloch. Roberts losing out.
So that looked a foul from Ian Pearce on Jason Roberts, all over him.
Jimmy Bullard. Oh, it sprang towards Niemi.
Just trying to keep that tempo up. Wigan trying to wrestle back the initiative.
Flipped on by Roberts. Quite a hoof from Zach Knight. Fulham's throw. Ferguson in a hurry. Foul throw.
That foot over the line from Helgeson, was it? Not what you want.
Bronk will get the free kick.
Might just reach for the old notebook here. Rob Stiles. I saw an intentional tug back from Lee McCulloch.
First yellow card of the game goes to the Scottish striker. I say striker, of course, he spent most of his time at Wigan out wide. And when he played north of the border, was very much up front with Motherwell. Beaumorte straight at Jimmy Bullard. Elliott might give Beaumorte another chance to redeem himself.
And that's what you call ambitious. Who is Beaumorte? He's capable of such brilliance at times, as shown with the Steve Malbranque goal. He wants his team just to get back to the level that they started this second half on. Nice and hungry and sharp.
Fulham with 11 home wins this season, including a famous victory over Chelsea, of course, which they will treasure for some time. Jason Roberts is onside. Camera in the middle. Roberts has picked out Gary Teal. All a bit too frantic for Fulham's liking.
Did really well there, Jason Roberts. Just drifted onto the shoulder of the defender and he could easily run away from him when the ball came through.
Rossignol. Elliott. Helgeson for McBride. Oh, nobody getting themselves into the box.
Well, if they had bothered, there might have just been a tap-in for somebody 6 yards out. Such a dangerous cutback.
Here's Malbranque. Well, Beaumorte was waiting for a cutback, but not there. Just before that, Helgeson and McBride had combined to set something up, the two strikers, but they didn't get a supporting cast. Teal. It's come off Wayne Bridge, another half-hearted handball appeal. It's a corner.
Yeah, it's balanced nicely now, this match. And this was the cut back from McBride. Everybody just stands and watches. Now Blanc, the only one really in the vicinity. Crowd getting frustrated by it.
Wigan had so much time to clear it, they didn't know what to do. Bullard takes it, and Jackson's header safely taken by Niemi.
Just looking for this little bit of luck. Somebody wins the header and it falls at the feet of a blue and white shirt.
Come of the hour, Fulham leading.
Well, it's not much consolation. 14-10 up when you're 1-0 down. I just found that rhythm, though, that they played with most of the first half, Wigan.
Morte has been cropped. Wayne Bridge. Ian Pearce, Fulham without the American international Carlos Bocanegra at the back, he's injured. Pearce. Helgeson timed his run right. McBride, now the flag is up though.
Well, he waited a good 3 or 4 or 5 seconds again. The referee's assistant waited for the play to develop. Keep an eye on him on the far side. Whether he's flagging for McBride, once he comes in, he becomes active. Helgeson seemed onside.
McCulloch, Baines. It's come through to Henri Camara. Baines, he's been caught. And it's going to be a yellow card as well for Diop.
Yeah, there's no arguments from the big midfielder. It's a wild one. Caught Baines on the toe. No doubt about it. And the trailing leg came through as well from Bouba Diop.
Reckless challenge. Brings a yellow card. Of course, if you reach 5 yellows or 10 yellows now, you no longer get a suspension, you just get a warning.
A licence to kick, isn't it?
Just a bit. He's now on the player cam, Papa Bouba Diop. Press your red button, Sky Digital viewers, to see more of him. Jimmy Bullard whipping it in. No takers.
Oh, a lot of movement in that 18-yard area. The only thing is 3 players all made a similar kind of run towards that near post, and look at the gap at the far. If somebody had just held the ground. Oh, he's not a happy man at the moment.
He wants to score a goal, I think he was saying. Easy for Pollitt, but it turned into a decent kick out. It's come off Wayne Bridge. Looks like Pollitt will see the season out for Wigan, with John Filan due to have a groin up. Elliott. Bouba Diop. Rossinia. McBride. American international. He'll be heading for another World Cup. He's already scored in 2 finals tournament. Bridge. Malbron, Fulham's goal scorer in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Oh, that's wild from Malbron. Senior did well, all things considered. So well there, though. Camera giving Zach Knight a problem. It's won by McCulloch, it's away by Knight, but only to Bullard. Chimbonda takes over.
Well, you can't accuse Wigan of not putting in enough crosses. There's been a never-ending stream of service, and this game really has fallen into a very similar pattern to the first half. Fulham marginally better than they were before the break, but Wigan really calling all the shots in terms of forward play.
And poor Jill having a pop at Guy Beale, the assistant referee, because he felt that should have been Wigan's throw and he might have a point.
He might just be thinking, is this going to be my night tonight? Seen his side play some great stuff, create some chances.
Ancho setting up another Pollitt kick. Might have been a bit of a bobble on that one.
The important thing is it doesn't bobble over your foot. You at least get something on it.
Morte, Helgeson, Bridge. Helgeson gets the free kick. Ian Pearce and Papa Bouba Diop joining McBride and Helgeson in there. Here it comes from Elliott, and Pollitt able to claim it. Got the free kick anyway off Helgeson.
I just think if they can get the ball across to the far post where Papa Bouba Diop was being marked by Pascal Chimbonda, it's a little mismatch in terms of height. I fancy Bouba Diop to get the header in. Haven't been able to really isolate him up against Chimbonda. He's competed well up to now against the big man.
Quarter of the game to go. Wigan having one of those nights at the moment, but they will persevere. Roberts. Bullard! Beaten away by Niemi. Well, they continue to tot up the chances, Wigan, but they just cannot find a way to goal yet. Chimbonda. Teal. Stefan Onjo. Henri Camara. Senior scoops it away. Jackson. Baines. Kavanagh. The Wigan fans urging their team on. Oh, that's slithered right down that line for McBride. And he's taking on Onshow. No foul. Leighton Baines. Jimmy Bullard. And Uncle Diop. Unable to stop Bullard, but Malbron did.
Oh, just overcooked it. Bullard did the hard bit, got past Diop.
Offside against McBride, much to the annoyance of the Fulham fans.
Oh, McCulloch having a bit of a go at Bullard for conceding possession in that area, and it could have turned out a lot more nasty than it did. Very close one again.
McCulloch rising and winning it. Cleared by Rossinia, but only to Leighton Baines. Bullard. Monda and Teal on this side. Kavanagh. Shimonda. Senior clears again. And now Steve Malbronk. Stopped by Kavanagh.
Just can't get out, can they? Fulham having so much of the ball on the away side at the moment. There's a temptation to try and be too precise when they get into those wide areas because they've delivered so many crosses.
Shimonda. He's got Gary Teal hugging the touchline. He's moving in towards the box now though, Teal, and he's got a corner off a bridge.
He's been a constant danger throughout this match down that right-hand flank. Gary Teal, give his full-back, Wayne Bridge, all sorts to think about.
Familiar sight tonight, Jimmy Bullard taking a corner. But a familiar sight as well. Shimonda unable to hook it goalwards. Thomas Radzinski is going to come on for Fulham, the Canadian international. And it's Ida Helgeson who is coming off.
Well, you can see that Chris Coleman, I think, just wants an outlet, somebody that is going to be able to create different problems to what Helgeson has and McBride. He's got a little bit more pace, Radzinski. Zippier, sharper player, quick feet. Need to try something, can't really get out of the defensive half yet. Now
Oncho made it his, Camera trying to put his strike partner away. It actually came off Jason Roberts. It'll be a Fulham throw. Bridge, who's on loan from the Bridge. Baines and Jackson exchanging strange passes. Bullard. Baines. They didn't let it trickle out, although try telling that to the Fulham fans over there. Rossinia. Bullard causing Onjo to duck. Shimonda now for Kavanagh, who will probably give it to Teal. Bullard, Baines. Bullard. Shimonda. Diop. Bridge. Shimonda.
If they come out of tonight's game with all 3 points, Fulham, they'll thank the lucky stars, I think, because they really haven't shown any of the kind of form that's made them so formidable at Craven Cottage this season. Haven't quite been able to get it together. but I got the all-important goal.
Senior for Elliott. Now Radzinski just on for Helgeson. One back though. And one back well by Baines. It's going to carry to Niemi. Good deal. Managed in on camera there.
Just got to be careful.
A yellow card. Oh, and that's going to be a card also for Boa-Morte.
Well, how many times have we seen Lewis Boa-Morte do this? It is a classical Boa-Morte tackle. Not really too classical, but certainly reckless. Both studs showing. He's gone off the ground. I have seen red cards given for that many a time. He's a lucky boy.
He's very lucky, Lewis Boa-Morte. It's actually his 10th yellow card of the season, but they no longer count. Flags up for offside here. Bullard whipped it in, but I think they're going to be able to take it again because Rob Stiles was still sorting out the Fulham wall.
Well, there's your luck. There's your luck. Whether they were quite ready. Fulham, were they waiting for the whistle? I don't know. I think they were, you know. Just didn't pick up Roberts.
Well, Wigan will be hoping for a similar outcome second time around. Bullard waits for the whistle. And McCulloch in there. Can they scramble it in? No. It's Niemi who gets to grips with it.
Hanging on, aren't they? By the fingernails. McCulloch's header comes off the back of the defender. Niemi picks up the scraps. This team have put in so much work. The Wigan side, they've seen a lot of the ball and really moved the ball across the turf. There'll be a few tired legs out there.
Baines. Camera. Will it happen here for Wigan? Still not. On by Malbranc to Radzinski, who can't return the favour. And that's a rather reckless foul from him out of frustration.
Joining in with his teammates now, the substitute with a casual, lax pass, giving the initiative back to the away side. Here they come again.
Teal. And for once, he's unable to deliver.
Well, he can't have asked for much more apart from a clinical edge in front of goal. Look at that. You come away from home and you totally dominate possession and you create most of the chances as well. Up until now, though, it's just not been his side's night in front of goal. I mean, how do you legislate for that? Chris Hutchings and Paul Jewell trying to work it out.
Portsmouth and Sunderland have let in more goals than Fulham in the Premiership this season. But Wigan haven't scored against them yet, and Malbranc now is threatening, and that's virtually thought he was going to knock out Matt Jackson.
He threatened to go down. He was like a boxer in the 10th round. The legs went wobbly, but he stayed on his feet. He got that right in the head from point blank range of Jackson.
Well, to stay on his feet. He might be seeing a few stars. Radzinski. Nice touch from Roberts. Bullard held up by Zach Knight, but here is Roberts again. And Zach Knight will sneak it away from the feet of Roberts.
think he's recovered. Those stars have disappeared just about. Maybe they haven't. Just checking his head still there.
Bronk, wrestle back control for Fulham. Martinsky speeding away, McBride rushing through the middle. But we can't find Bronk, and there aren't too many others offering support. Bullard now for Jason Roberts. Camera's effort. Okay.
Great chance. They really showed him that left-hand channel to go into, and he took up the opportunity once the ball was fed across. There you go. Have a go on your left. Never worrying. That goal of Anthony Amis.
Bright flick. Radzinski stopped by Shimbonda. And a second Fulham goal would be even harsher on Wigan, but nothing would surprise you in football.
Well, you expected actually Fulham to come out in this second half and stamp their authority and at least stamp an impression on the game. They haven't been able to do that. They find themselves still with the noses in front.
Simon Elliott's corner doesn't clear the first hurdle, which was Bullard. Rossinia. Ping towards Elliott. Beaumorte. Malbronk looking to score his second of the game, but straight out Pollock.
Well, if anybody's going to do it, produce something out of nothing, it will be the goal scorer, Steve Malbronk. Showed a couple of neat touches this second half in amongst a sea of mediocrity, really. Good strike.
Roberts, Bullard, Camera. Clip the heels of Zach Knight. There's Graham Kavanagh. Oh, Papa Bouba put Malbronk on his way. Martinsky was offside, so he couldn't find him then, and he can't find him now.
Well, not the most intelligent forward play. There's a lot of ground behind that Wigan back line for Radzinski to run onto, but made his move far too early.
Roberts. Leighton Baines. Away by Wayne Bridge. Shimbonda. Caught by Radzinski. But the advantage played by Rob Kavanagh. McCulloch. Jason Roberts trying to hang in there, but Rossinia has made a few important clearances. Now Radzinski is going to get a yellow card for that challenge a moment ago on Shimbonda.
There's a high one.
Radzinski, the third Fulham player to be booked. Fulham are going to make another change. Christian Val waiting to come on to add some more protection. McCulloch. Camera. Kavanagh. Baines. Came off Elliott. Well, Baines first to it. Now That was rather reckless from McBride.
Well, it's about three, isn't it, really? Bouba Diop, Lewis Boamorte, and now this one. Not exactly what you'd call textbook tackling. Another chance to swing one in. They've looked dangerous every time from these kind of positions, Wigan.
Bullard, McCulloch flicking it on.
Flags up again. Assistant spotted an offside. But Matt Jackson in the middle.
Substitution coming off is number 27, Simon Elliott.
Yeah, the Fulham fans have really taken to Simon Elliott, the New Zealander. And he's taken to English football rather well, but he's going to be replaced here by Christian Val, who's come on a lot lately. He can count amongst his former clubs, Monaco, Marseille and Barcelona. Just lost his way a little bit over the last couple of years.
Not a bad collection though, is it? On the whole CV.
Add some protection to his back four. Can play in that role or in the centre of defence himself. Didn't have the best of times at Barcelona.
Paul Jewell is going to put on David Connolly. Try and get something out of this game. A little poacher.
Jackson for Roberts. Burst of pace from Roberts, so it just went behind camera. Christian Val unable to clear it. And Henri Camara. Goal kick has been given.
Well, they've never looked safe, have they, Fulham? But they've just done enough when they've had to in those challenges in the penalty area. Here he comes, a player that has been known to take his chances when they come his way. He certainly played his part tonight, Gary Teal.
Well, it's David Connolly's first appearance since January when he injured a hamstring in the Carling Cup semi-final against Arsenal. This Saturday, Chelsea champions, or will Manchester United keep them waiting? Sky Sports 1 from noon. Bonda, Radzinski, here's McBride. Bouba Diop. Bridge. Christian Val. Well, Fulham going to sneak a victory here against a Wigan side who controlled much of the first half and then fell behind with virtually the last kick of that first half.
If you picked up the morning papers tomorrow and you look at the score and say, well, yeah, Fulham strong at home, no surprise there. Wigan, not an awful lot to play for. Yeah, Europe possibly, but it's not been like that. Paul Jewell's side has been dominant for, well, good 80-85% of this match. They've been the more accomplished side, played all the football.
Chimbonda, Camara, and it hit his own man, Jason Roberts. Looks like Wigan are going to have to beat Portsmouth on Saturday to keep their European dream alive. Just what Harry Redknapp wanted to hear, I'm sure.
Well, you won't want them to turn up and play as they have done tonight, because it's very rare that you play as well as this and don't come away with anything to show for it.
Bridge, Christian Val. Oh, what a precise pass from Radzinski, and what a precise tackle from Baines.
Yeah, beauty from Leighton Baines, showed good pace there as well. Had to make up some ground. He looks favourite, Radzinski, doesn't he? Good defending, had to get the pass, the tackle spot on, and he does.
Well, whatever happens in Wigan's final two games, they deserve plenty of praise for the way they've gone about their Premiership business this season. And of course they made it to the Carling Cup final as well, claiming Arsenal's scalp in the semi-finals. And rather like they were in the Championship, they've been a joy to watch at times, including tonight, but nothing to show for their efforts. And we're in the last minute of normal time. Shot in the face from Diop on McCulloch. No real malice in it, though.
Well, you're always risking it, though, when you raise your arm and catch somebody in the face, especially when you're on a yellow card, as Boumba Diop is.
There'll be 3 minutes added on here. Rob Stiles gets a bit involved there. And now Connolly. Can he play a part in a rescue act here for Wigan? It's away by Ian Pearce. And now Wayne Bridge. It's come off Malbron. His goal in first half stoppage time is the 99th goal in matches involving Fulham in the Premiership this season. They go in at both ends. Chimbonda's got a yellow card for that.
They're pretty mystified because that ball did look as if it came off Steve Malbronc. It looked stick on, throw into Wigan. Paul Jewell furious in the technical area.
Matt Jackson holding off the advances of Montinsky. Rossinia. Wigan are running out of time. Had the chance to go level with Blackburn and Newcastle in the race for UEFA Cup place. The chance is disappearing fast. Chimbonda, though, has got in here, and now Connolly, and camera still, side netting, and that sums up Wigan's night.
Well, talking about David Connolly, he's on there, the poacher, the taker of chances, and I don't think he's going to get a better one than this tonight. Chimbonda really does incredibly well to force his way through up that right-hand channel, and he just, I don't know, rush of blood from Connolly, just didn't get anything on it. Surely, you think, surely this time we're going to score. Not his night.
Half a minute left. It just wasn't meant to be for Wigan tonight. They might get a last chance here if Pollock launches it. Well, you'd have fancied Connolly here to have buried that. He's got a free kick, maybe just time for one last effort from Wigan on a night when they've had many efforts. They've huffed and puffed. Bullard sending it in. But Fulham have seen it through. Home sweet home. Craven Cottage again. Their 12th home win of the season, but Paul Jewell's team, well, dominated the first half and had a fair chunk of the second as well. Just could not score a goal. Steve Malbronc did score a goal in first half stoppage time, very much against the run of play. Fulham guaranteeing their Premiership future. It's a blow for Wigan. David Connolly missed that chance late on after coming off the bench. The European dreams are fading. He won't be happy about that, but they have still been an immense credit to themselves this season and a big bonus really for the Premiership. But it's Fulham who have taken the points somehow, not quite sure how. It ends at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Wigan 0.
Astonishing scoreline, wasn't it? What it does mean, though, is that Fulham will be playing in the Premiership next season for a 6th consecutive campaign. A point would have been enough. They've taken all 3 and they're up to 14th. Top of the table, as you were as far as Wigan are concerned, though Europe looks a little more distant this evening. Football coming up for you on Sky Sports on Wednesday evening. It's unmissable, really, isn't it? Barcelona against AC Milan. The second leg of their Champions League semi-final is live on Sky Sports 1 at 7. Oh, and talking of unmissable, Stamford Bridge, high noon, this coming Saturday. Manchester United, a must-win game for them as they travel to face the champions Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It's live on Sky Sports 1. Charlton against Blackburn is live on Prem Plus at 5 on Saturday evening. That's channel 480. For ordering information, 08705 160 160 is the number to ring. And Spurs with a pretty firm hold on 4th place now in the Premiership. They take on Bolton at White Hart Lane. That's on Sunday, Sky Sports 1 at 3:30. Hard to tell who the home team was for most of the evening here at Craven Cottage, wasn't it? The views of Portsmouth manager Harry Redknapp in a moment or two on Fulham's 1-0 win over Wigan. A game that Wigan totally dominated, but a bit of French polish was enough for Fulham to take all 3 points and secure their Premiership future.